Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a case that has baffled investigators for decades, a story filled with twists, turns, and one seemingly insignificant detail that the police overlooked, a detail that might just be the key to unlocking the entire mystery. This is the perplexing case of the Somerton Man. In the early morning hours of December 1st, 1948, a well-dressed man was found deceased on Somerton Park Beach in Adelaide, Australia. He was propped up against a seawall, looking as if he were simply resting. There were no signs of a struggle, no obvious injuries. His pockets contained a few mundane items: a train ticket, a bus ticket, a comb, some chewing gum. But there was no wallet, no cash, and most importantly, no identification. Who was this man? The initial autopsy couldn't determine a cause of death. Poison was suspected, but no traces could be found. The man's fingerprints were sent around the world, but no matches came back. His dental records were unique, but led to no identifications. It was as if he had appeared out of thin air. He was a complete ghost. His expensive clothing had all the labels meticulously removed, a deliberate act to erase any clue to his origin or identity. As investigators dug deeper, the case grew stranger. Months after the body was found, a pathologist re-examining the man's clothing found something everyone else had missed: a tiny, hidden fob pocket sewn into the waistband of his trousers. Tucked inside was a small, rolled-up piece of paper printed with the words "Tamam Shud." This phrase, Persian for "it is ended or finished," was torn from the final page of a very specific collection of poems, the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. This discovery ignited a nationwide search for the exact book from which the scrap was torn. The police appealed to the public for help, and eventually, a man came forward. He explained that shortly after the body was discovered, he found a rare copy of the Rubaiyat in the back of his unlocked car, which he had parked near Somerton Beach. He hadn't thought anything of it at the time, but after seeing the police appeal, he checked the book. The final page was torn, and the scrap with Tamam Shud was a perfect match. Now, this is where it gets even more intriguing. Inside the back cover of that book, investigators found faint pencil markings. It appeared to be a code, a series of seemingly random letters. Top codebreakers from naval intelligence were brought in, but they couldn't crack it. To this day, the code remains unsolved, a jumble of letters that could be the man's final message, or a complete red herring. What secrets did those letters hold? But that's not all. The book also contained a phone number, an unlisted phone number belonging to a young nurse who lived just a short walk from where the body was found. Her name was Jessica Thompson, though she was often referred to by the nickname Jestin. When police questioned her, she was evasive and seemed distressed. She denied knowing the deceased man, but her reaction suggested otherwise. She admitted that she had once owned a copy of the Rubaiyat and had given it to a man named Alfred Boxall during World War II. For a moment, police thought they had their man. Alfred Boxall must be the Somerton Man. They tracked him down, only to find him alive and well, living in Sydney. And here's the kicker: Boxall still had his copy of the Rubaiyat, the one Jessica had given him, complete with her inscription. It was not the book found in the car. So, who was the man on the beach? And why did he have Jessica's phone number? Why did she react so strangely when shown a plaster cast of his face? She claimed she didn't know him, yet witnesses reported a man had been trying to visit her in the days leading up to his death. Let's rewind. Let's go back to that one detail the police missed for months: the hidden pocket, the Tamam Shud slip. Had they found it on day one, would the trail have been warmer? Would the man who found the book in his car have come forward sooner? Would the ink on the code have been clearer? This single oversight created a delay that may have allowed crucial evidence to fade away. Over the years, theories have swirled. Was the Somerton Man a Cold War spy? The timing, the untraceable identity, the unbreakable code, and the suspected use of an undetectable poison all point towards espionage. Adelaide was a hub for intelligence operations at the time. Perhaps he was a foreign agent on a mission that went horribly wrong. Maybe Jessica Thompson was also involved, her denial a desperate attempt to protect herself or her family. Another theory suggests a love affair gone wrong, a spurned lover, perhaps traveling to see Jessica one last time, who then took his own life on the beach nearby. The Tamam Shud, "it is ended," would certainly fit this narrative of romantic despair. But this doesn't explain the removed clothing labels, the lack of identification, or the complex code. It feels too simple for such a complex puzzle. Decades passed. Jessica Thompson took her secrets to the grave in 2007. However, Her daughter Kate later came forward with some startling claims. She believed that her mother not only knew the Somerton man, but was also in a relationship with him, and that he could even be the father of her half-brother, Robin. Kate described her mother as a woman with a mysterious past, who could speak Russian and had sympathies that might align with communism, adding more fuel to the spy theory. And here's where modern science finally enters the story. After years of legal battles and debate, in 2021, the body of the Somerton man was exhumed. The goal was to finally extract a viable DNA sample and use forensic genealogy to uncover his identity. This process involves sequencing the DNA and then searching public genealogy databases to find distant relatives, slowly building a family tree that could lead back to our mystery man. A researcher named Derek Abbott has been at the forefront of this effort. He worked with an American genealogist, Colleen Fitzpatrick, and through painstaking work analyzing hairs that had been trapped in the man's plaster death mask, they made a breakthrough. In 2022, they announced they believed they had identified him. They claimed the Somerton man was Carl Charles Webb, an electrical engineer and instrument maker from Melbourne, born in 1905. So, does this solve the case? Not quite. It gives him a name, a profession, a place of birth. We now know that Carl Webb disappeared in 1947. He was a man who liked poetry and betting on horses. His wife had moved to South Australia, which could explain why he was in Adelaide. But it doesn't tell us why he died, what the code means, or his connection to Jessica Thompson. It opens a new chapter rather than closing the book. If he was just an engineer, why the spy-like secrecy? Why the removed labels? Why the untraceable poison? The story of the Somerton man, or Carl Webb, is a masterclass in how a single missed detail can send an investigation down a rabbit hole. For over 70 years, the hidden pocket, the tiny slip of paper, it was the first real clue in a case that had none. It transformed a simple John Doe into a legend of international intrigue. It reminds us that sometimes the biggest secrets are hidden in the smallest of places, just waiting to be found. What do you think happened? Was he a spy, a scorned lover, or something else entirely? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more unsolved mysteries. Until next time, stay curious.